We have reached the eclipse tunnel, eclipse vortex, whatever you want to call it. Astrologers call it different names, but it is the 2-week period between eclipses that can feel very disorienting, intense, climactic. Brain can feel very foggy. Sort of like, I know my life is changing. I know that the people's lives around me are changing. I know who I am as a person, what I want, what I desire, how I'm feeling is changing and transforming, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to look like on the other side, what my job is going to look like, or what my boyfriend, girlfriend, what this thing is going to look like, but I know it's changing. And that's how it can feel right now. This 2-week window between eclipses specifically is very interesting because on one hand, we are just coming off the first eclipse, new moon solar eclipse in the Leo sector of our chart. So there's a new beginning. We're shifting identities. We're feeling these really strong pushes and pulls in that Leo sector of our chart. But most of the time, especially because this is the beginning of a cycle, you don't really know what's going to occur or how things are going to play out in that sector. But we're still sort of figuring out the Leo Aquarius eclipse story, which can feel exciting, but can also feel, scary or unnerving. And then we're leading up to the very last eclipse in Pisces. On August 28th, we have our final eclipse in Pisces. We're going to have one more on the Pisces Virgo axis in February of 2027. But we're we're wrapping up a story on that axis that has been going on, potentially since the first eclipse in September of 2024. The Pisces Virgo cycle is a longer than normal cycle. And the eclipse that we're building to on the Pisces Virgo axis will also be square Uranus. And about a week later, I think maybe even less, Uranus is going to station retrograde. And so Uranus is very strong. So there's this sort of unpredictable, frenetic, chaotic energy associated with that eclipse, but it is an eclipse closing down, letting go. I mean closing out that story of all the change that has happened, not only on the Virgo Pisces axis, but in just that Pisces house for you specifically. In 2023, Saturn was there until February of 2026. September of 2024, we began to have eclipses, in Pisces. And so there's been a lot of change. And now Saturn's moved on. We're almost done with the eclipses in Pisces Virgo. And it's who am I now? If you are a Leo or Pisces ascendant, if you have planets in Leo or Pisces, or really any of the mutable or fixed signs, so that's a lot of us, you're going to feel these eclipses the most. But everyone is in this eclipse tunnel. We're all in this eclipse vortex together, and shit is weird.